Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Happy
Fertilizer Friday.
Fertilizer Friday. So,
Yep.
We're taking a look at a fertilizer injector. So we went from
Watering can
old school watering can.
to the hose end sprayer.
The next step,
And now with the fertilizer, our next step is
we're going to be talking about a fertilizer injector. And for a lot of you, this is going to be the way to do this. If you have a lot of flowers, we certainly do it in our greenhouses. As these fertilizer injectors got more and more expensive, we started looking and we found this fertilizer injector. It's very economical. They're absolute workhorses. We've got several of them. They work fantastic. And so we started buying these a few years ago, and we do have these available at our BYNRetailer.com website. But I'm going to show you kind of quickly how this fertilizer injector works. So I'm going to grab, so this is a packet of our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. We know this makes about 100 gallons. So I'm just going to take you through this. I'm going to add this in the contents into a bucket. I already have about 3 or 4 gallons in there of solution made up, and I'm going to mix that in. I have this set to draw at 1 to 100. So what that means is every gallon that I have in my bucket is going to make up about 100 gallons of fertilizer mix. So it's set at 1 to 100. So a 5-gallon bucket will make about 500 gallons, and that's what works for our greenhouses. And it all depends on how dry things are or what what's going on for that day. So on that fertilizing day, so I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna cut this and add in the packet. And I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna add in about a gallon of water, which is going to take this right up to the top now. You can hear that clicking. That clicking is the fertilizer injector working. So it's drawing up the fertilizer solution, and it's mixing it in at that rate of 1 to 100, and it's coming out my hose as the correct metered amount. So this 5-gallon bucket again is going to make about 500 gallons of the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer for our plants on that day that we're fertilizing. So quickly, that's just kind of how that operates. It's a great way to. The fertilizer injectors got really expensive, and I started searching around. I found this company that makes them. I bought this one. I just bought this. I bought a couple of them. They were about $120. So they're very economical, and I think a lot of you are in that market where you're like, yeah, $120, and it makes my job. You know, I save myself 2 hours of work every week. I think a lot of you will be in that market, and you'll be really interested in trying out one of these fertilizer injectors.
Scott knows this in and out because he works with it all the time. But let me maybe break down a few things. So the packet that we put into there of the fertilizer, it's water soluble. You have to mix it with water, which is why he has to add water. You don't have to use the watering one to mix it up. He just stuck it in there and spun it.
Yeah.
But it has to be mixed up, and that's why 1 packet per gallon. So if you don't have a huge greenhouse like ours, but you need to have maybe 100 gallons made up, you have
1 packet per
1 packet per gallon
of the solution that's going to get metered
and then it gets metered in through this injector.
Yeah, just so we're clarifying that.
Right.
Yeah, do not take a packet of the fertilizer and stick it in this. That's not what we're talking about. This is getting metered out at that 1% rate.
This is talking specifically about the injector.
Yeah.
And it will meter it out. And if there's anything left over, use it up within like a week.
About a week, yeah, because in our greenhouses, this is sitting in the sun. We don't want to let it to sit there too long. About a week, within 2 weeks, though, for sure, we're gonna be using that up.
Right. So the fertilizer comes in these little jars like this. And for larger operations, whether that be a yard or a greenhouse,
schools are using,
yep, we do offer the fertilizer in the bag, which is exactly the same bag that's in this jar, in a 30 pack for just bags. So it has no scoops, no jars. It is not for retail. You cannot resell those individual bags, but you can use them for the use.
Yeah, so if you have a lot, that 30 pack is our cheapest way to purchase the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer.
Without being a wholesaler.
Yeah, so again, it's for people who have a lot of flowers in their yard, and we sell a lot of them to just individuals that have a lot of flowers, but also the schools. We're getting into schools, universities, but also greenhouses are also obviously using our Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer. So that 30 pack is available on our BYNRetailer.com website. That's the cheapest way you can buy it
And
if you have a lot.
That is the only size we have because of all the legal rules and fees and everything else per size. I know it's crazy, but that's what we use in our own greenhouse is those little packets, and it's kind of nice because it's already metered out.
Yep, I know that.
You don't have to
the way this is set up, I know one packet is going to make about 100 gallons, and I know for my greenhouse is just in the back here, it's probably going to take about 500 gallons. So I'll put in 5 into a 5-gallon bucket, mix that up with the water for the solution, and it's drawing that out at 1 to 100, and so I'll have 500 gallons of fertilizer.
So the injector you can find on the BeatYourNeighbor.com. It is an affiliate link. It does not ship from us.
Right.
But you know what does ship from us? The fertilizer. I've been working on that for days now.
Right.
So we do ship to 48 states, but we have retailers across the United States. And on the Beat Your Neighbor website, BeatYourNeighbor.com website, you can find a retailer locator map. And on there you can see who's within your area. And if there's somebody within your area, please go visit them.
And these are small businesses that we're partnering up with. So
you will not find this in the box retailer.
Right. And we do want to highlight one of our brand new Beat Your Neighbor retailers, and that is Southern Rose Greenhouse in Hartsville, South Carolina. So excited to partner up with them, and they're actually opening up on April 3rd for the season for this year.
For 2026.
For 2026, they're opening up on April 3rd. So
I should move this so they can see that. I'll do the close-up. Zoom.
All right. So thank you for joining us, and again, a fertilizer injector for a lot of you is going to be the way to go. I set my mom up on this. You know, she's got a lot of flowers in her yard, and so I'm like, Mom, we're setting you up with an injector, and she's like, okay. And so I tell her just make sure that bucket's full, and she goes to a constant feed for her flowers, and it works out fantastic for her. So there's a lot of you in that category that you could use that.
There is a more in-depth video on the injector and how to use it on our Beat Your Neighbor.
No, on our YouTube.
I'm sorry, on our YouTube channel.
On our YouTube channel, we have that, so you can check that out there. And it's, if you're at YouTube, it's really easy. If you just want to search, just type in fertilizer injector Sharkies, and those videos will pop up. So there's a little more in depth of how we actually do it. But,
perfect.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Bye bye.